welcome to the Shark Bite Show, where we dive into the stories of our members, coaches, friends, and family of Shark Bite Fitness and Nutrition. All right, let's roll. All right, guys. Today we have Rachel Hafer. She is a member here at Shark Bite Cape Coral. She's been with us for a couple years now. She has by far the best dance moves in the game. There's no question about that. I think she's secretly from Minnesota. When you hear her talk, you'll understand why I say that. And she is absolutely one of my favorite people to hang out with and work out with at Shark Bite.
Aww.
So Rachel,
Thanks,
thank you.
Nick. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. So talk to me. First off, who are you? What is your history in fitness, sports, that health realm?
Yeah, so I'm 24. I'm from Cape Coral. I lived in Pennsylvania for 2 years, but that doesn't really count. It was in elementary school, but basically I'm from here.
When did you live in Minnesota?
Maybe secretly. I don't know where the accent came from. It just enunciates on certain weird words, but anyways. I always did sports. I played soccer, did cheer. Some people don't think that's a sport, but I think it's a sport. I ran track. I was a big runner. Never, ever heavy lifter or anything other than soccer. Soccer and cheer, and I did gymnastics when I was little too. I was usually just a runner up until I joined here.
Cool. Okay. What was the most recent thing you were doing before you came to, at the time, CrossFit Cape Coral, but now Shark Bite?
I cheered at Fgcu, so I cheered in college, and then I was running maybe 2 to 4 miles. I would say every day, but that would be a lie. As much as I got myself to. Sometimes I did those video things, what's that guy? Insanity.
Oh, Sean T.
Yes, I did Sean T videos too. Really not passionate or really into it until I joined this gym.
Oh, that's cool. Me, when I was in the Army, we did Insanity videos.
They were hard.
Yeah, because...
And then what's the other one? P90X?
P90X.
I never did that one, but I did Insanity.
We would do the Insanity videos because it would snow up at Fort Drum in upstate New York for 9 or 10 months a year.
Yeah.
It'd be -30, and the other squads would go out and they would run 3 miles in the snow. And my squad would go into
Sean T?
Yeah, we'd go into our daily room and do Insanity, and people would make fun of us. They would laugh at us doing them,
They were intense though.
Man, they kicked our asses. And then when the winter would come around, we would have our cardio and the other guys wouldn't.
There you go.
Should have been following
Sean
the videos.
T.
So, funny story about you cheering at FGCU. We missed each other by a year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so I did 2014 to 2015 season, so you must have been 15.
I was 15 to 16.
Not on the cheer team.
Sorry. I was 16 to 17. I was the athletic trainer for the cheerleading team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did it for 1 year. I had to get a job and make money instead, so it was short-lived.
Slightly understandable.
Yeah, but it was fun though. I love that school.
Cool. So you've got a cool story about joining the gym, right? So I remember, way back when I sat down with you in this room and we did your no sweat intro. Do you remember what you told me when you wanted to join the gym? Why you wanted to join the gym?
There's probably 2 reasons. I know it was during a time I had just graduated from my master's, and so I lived in Tampa for a year. When I finished my master's, I got a job that wasn't going to start for 4 months, so I just graduated college, was about to start my job. I literally had nothing going on, so I was feeling very lost, and I needed to join somewhere. And then probably what you're thinking of, maybe Brian was joining the police academy, and he was doing buddy carries or something, and I tried to pick him up and I couldn't move him even an inch. So if we had a fire in our house, he would have been done for. So I was oh my god, I'm so weak. I gotta do something. But it was definitely to be a part of something because I was very lost. And I was always on teams and in sports or in school, and I had what is Rachel doing right now? I need to do something. And then I talked to Bailey. So Bailey's one of the coaches here, and we were friends. Sorry, my brain goes to 4 different places at one time. So we were friends before kindergarten. When I moved to Pennsylvania, we used to write each other letters in the mail. So she would draw me pictures and stuff. So we always joke about that now. But anyway, she and I kind of reconnected because we were friends a long time ago, and then not really at that moment. And we reconnected, and she brought me in. It was Cindy, who was the first workout I ever did here.
Yeah.
I was sore for 2 weeks after, but she was she joined the gym a couple months before that, and so I've been watching her on Instagram and stuff. So I reached out to her, and then she invited me in for that drop-in. kicked my butt, and then I joined.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is that what you were thinking of?
Yeah. So Cindy, what's Cindy? What workout is that?
5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats.
Yeah, for 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually the first workout I ever did too.
Really?
Yeah, and it absolutely
like right here
destroyed me.
When I would take my shirt off for like 2 weeks, it would take me like 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's why we usually don't have people do workouts like that to start. For that exact
I probably
reason.
shouldn't have, but it was kind of like this sucks so bad, but I wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
That was at the time where I like had nothing going on for myself. So I was like, Rachel, you need to get it together. I mean, it was like a gap period, so I get it, but
No, so
it was exciting for me.
those are two really cool reasons, I think, right? Like one, you want to be able to pick up bird.
Yeah.
You want to be able to move in.
If we had a fire in the house, you'd be dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, now I think you could throw him pretty easily. So, and then two, you wanted to find like friends and something to do, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool because I know a lot of people say they want to join the gym, just to get in shape, but I think really what they're looking for is that too.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody, right? But I know
Yeah.
that for me, when I got out of the Army and when I was getting out of the Army, it was really important for me to find something like that.
Yeah, because you're so, like in the Army, you were so used to being in squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was always on a team or always in school, you're always with your squad, and then when you're alone, it's like, I'm alone, I don't know what to do.
You're trying to like find a new community to kind of be part of,
Yeah,
right?
and I'm a social person, so I don't like to just not have people to listen to me talk.
I don't think anyone's ever described you as social. No way.
Oh.
I'm kidding. She's the most social person alive. Well, that's awesome. All right, so how old are you? You said 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A very small birdie, very miniature birdie named Bailey, told me that you got your master's degree at a super young age, right?
I did. I was 22.
That's awesome.
I think I might have been, no, I was 22. Yeah, because it was a year-long course.
Okay, well, that's awesome.
Thank you.
How did you do that? How did you accomplish that at such a young age?
I did some dual enrollment in high school, so I finished my bachelor's in 3 years, and then 6 months went by and I immediately started grad school, and it was a 1-year program. I went to Tampa, USF in Tampa, so it was a gerontology program, which gerontology is the study of old people, if anybody doesn't know. So it was like half online, half in person in Tampa. And it was just the 12 classes, and I was good to go. And because I loved it. That's how I did it so fast.
Well, yeah, because that's what I was going to ask, right? Like, what do you do for work now?
So I'm the sales and marketing director at a senior living community.
What's it called? Which one?
The Preserve. It's in Fort Myers, so it's assisted living, skilled nursing, and memory care. It's part of a larger Volunteers of America non-for-profit, which has been around for 125 years. And Gulf Coast Village in Cape Coral, it's like a mile away. It's been around for 30 years. That's our sister community. So the Preserve opened about 2 years ago. Well, it broke ground about 2 years ago, and it actually officially opened about a year ago. So I'm their sales and marketing director, formerly the life enrichment and memory support director. So that's activities and memory support specific programs. But yeah, I do sales and marketing, so I get to talk to families who are thinking about transitioning their loved one into a senior community, and I kind of help them through the process and talk about what their future will look like in our community.
Yeah, and that is so cool, right? So, like, we're friends in real life, but we're also friends on Facebook. And I get to watch the cool videos you post of what you get to do inside of the facility, right?
I love it.
So talk about some of those things.
So I'm still kind of in the life enrichment director roles, because we're currently hiring for that position if anyone's looking to apply, but we get to do the life enrichment programs. So we do, of course, exercise groups, and we do entertainment, and with COVID, which we can talk about later, things are a little bit different. But it's like working in a history museum. I don't know if that sounds kind of wrong, but it's like when you talk to people, you get to learn about, like, this is an 89-year-old veteran who has like 12 grandkids, and this is what he did for his life, and then this lady has lived in Germany and Ireland, and like every single person you talk to has like 89, 95, 100 years of history. So it's really cool to just like sit and talk to somebody who's been through whatever pandemic we're in, times like 45 other different life historic events,
Yeah, I totally understand that, right? Because I feel like we get that here at the gym, and the age bracket might not be the same, but we get to learn the experiences of people that we might not have ever learned otherwise. And you probably get that pretty much every day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really, really neat. We had a 100, well, not just, it was a couple months ago, like a birthday parade for a man who turned 100.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like, can you imagine 100 years? 100 years ago, so it was 1920. That's so long ago. So what happened in between now and then? A lot.
Was it Jim Mears?
No, Joe Carey.
Okay, that's awesome. So why is that so rewarding for you? Because like, I think anybody who's spent any time around you knows that you love your job.
Yeah.
Right? You love it. It just seeps out of you.
Aww.
Why? Why is that so rewarding for you?
Because I think it's kind of a population that people forget about, and people don't, everybody wants to work with kids, or they want to work, I don't know where people want to work, but like, oftentimes people don't want to work with seniors, so it's kind of like, I have a lot of love and respect for what they've done throughout history, like we talked about, and they're, I keep saying like a museum or history, but it's like so full of history, it excites me. And like, it's a group of people that people often overlook, and people are scared of senior communities. Like, people talk about, I'll never go into a nursing home, but I've seen so many great communities where they do a lot of programs that kind of fulfill the last couple of years of somebody's life. And so to be the person that can, provide the last 2 years of your grandmother's life, like to make it better in any way, is just really cool and rewarding, and I just love it.
Yeah, it's that, to me that's super cool, right? Because you're taking somebody who might have a lower quality of life, and you're like qualitatively increasing that quality of life. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Thank you. And it's like certain things are tailored, so maybe there's this man, we had a patient, he was a fashion designer, he went to NYU or NYT or whatever the fashion institute is in New York City. He has a poster in the Hard Rock Casino in Naples of Marilyn Monroe is on a poster there wearing a coat that he designed. Like, how cool is that? So like, I printed out a picture of our building. He never completed it, but I printed out a picture of the front of the preserve, and I wanted him to sketch it because he has like a sketchbook and stuff. So it's like, he was once a fashion designer who designed a coat for Marilyn Monroe, and he's sitting here right in front of me, like getting therapy from us. So I gave him a picture to draw because I knew that that's important to him, and that's what his wife said that he likes to do. So, just to be able to see somebody in their prime designing coats for freaking Marilyn Monroe, and then they're here and they need that kind of like, that was his thing, So I want to help him be able to do his thing, even though he's like 85 years old now and not quite the same strength that he was before, but he can still do it.
Yeah.
And I want to help him do it.
Oh, that's so cool. Because would he get that otherwise?
I don't know. I mean, and sometimes, especially with COVID right now, a lot of seniors are just sitting in their home. I did a tour the other day for a lady. She says she hasn't left her home since April of last year. And she's a neat lady, and I talked to her for a long time, and like, she, her history, she was like in different community groups and really involved in her church, and just to see her, like, I know everybody in the world's going through this right now, so I completely understand, but like, if she were in our community and around kind of some other people, we may have been able to, help her embrace those things that she's kind of isolated from.
Help her socialize a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that was something that you and I had talked about a bunch of times, was seeing if there was any way that we as a gym could come help through that. And I know restrictions haven't exactly allowed for that yet.
I sent Christmas cards.
Yeah.
I got Christmas cards. That was awesome.
That was cool. That was one of the funner things we've done.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, we wrote Christmas cards between the three gyms to residents at Preserve.
And other communities too.
A bunch of them. I think we had like 7 or 8 of them, right, that we sent out.
It's great.
That was part of our December bingo, so it's pretty cool. I don't know how many we got out, but I was really happy about that.
I know I still have one from Danielle, her and her boyfriend and her dog. Mm-hmm. They sent like an actual Christmas card picture, a printed out one. That's so cute.
That's so cool.
And Winter too, she wrote handwritten one, so sweet.
That's cool. I'm really glad we were able to do that. I hope they enjoyed it.
They did.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so. Another cool thing you've done, right? You took a mission trip to Haiti, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes,
twice. Twice? Mm-hmm. Okay. When were those?
One while I was, I think, 2016 and 17. So there were 2 back-to-back summers. So my family has like a long history with Village of Hope in Haiti. So actually part of my grandma's ashes are scattered there too, because my grandparents were really involved with that specific missionary. So we went on medical mission trips 2 times. First one when I thought I was going to go to nursing school. Changed my mind, but I'm very happy about it. But I helped do intake, and we had a dentist go, a surgeon go. I'm glad you bring it up, because I have a really cool story.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And so we went in the middle of Guadalupe is like Port-au-Prince is the big area that everybody knows. That's like the hub in the city. But we went into the actual like parts of Haiti, and we went into these villages that were like cemented buildings, and we just set up camp, no AC, no nothing, and then everybody in the villages would just come and go through, and the doctors would see them and kind of diagnose or give them some of the supplies that we brought over from the States. So different churches here, different churches in Tampa. We collected donations for months, and we were able to bring like 2 checked bags each, and they were full of like bandages, eye drops, because there's no cemented areas. It's all like dust and gravel. Mm-hmm. So everybody's eyes are so dry all the time. So we just go to CVS and we get eye drops. No big deal. But like they came to that place to get eye drops because it was like, that was such a big deal. So that was really cool. But
talk about something we take like so for granted.
I know, like freaking eye drops and chapstick. Yeah. You know? But they like walked miles to come to this area where we had set up to see the doctor to get their eye drops. So it's like really put in perspective of how blessed we are here. But then we checked people's weights. The dentist came the second time. I could never be a dentist. Oh, I was like scarred because he was like extracting people's teeth and stuff. But things that people needed to be done, and nobody could do it. They couldn't
get it done otherwise, right?
That's when I decided I couldn't be a nurse, because I was sitting there watching, and I've never passed out before, but I was like on the front. Okay, but rambling on, let me get to the really cool story. Okay. So we met this guy, his name's Dr. Blaine, and he's a pediatric cardiologist in Tampa. So he went on the medical mission trip with us twice. He's one of my aunt and uncle's really good friends. A full year before my sister was pregnant, we went on a medical mission trip with him. So my sister was pregnant about 2 years later, and they found out that her baby was going to have a heart defect. And guess where they referred her to? To the pediatric cardiologist up in Tampa that we had a personal relationship with, and went to Haiti with him 2 years before. So he was the person who like laid out the entire like plan of how they would reconstruct Layla's heart. And it was like, I know, I have goosebumps. Like I don't know if anybody's religious or anything, but that was like, what are the freaking chances? You know? Like it was like this place or a place in Texas. And my aunt and uncle lived like 15 minutes from the hospital, so when Abby was there 7 months, she got to live in my aunt and uncle's house, and the person who was calling her to explain how he was going to repair her baby's heart was like a man that we went to Haiti with 2 months ago. Cool.
That's super, super cool. I remember Abby was a member of our gym a long time ago, and following that story was absolutely unreal. You know, at that point I hadn't talked to her in a year or two, and I felt like, I know I had nothing to do with it, but I felt like me and all these other people got to be a part of this story and like see this awesome success. To now see like a little girl just running around being all happy.
And she went to dance class yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
So, background story, my niece, she's now 2, but she's walking now without her walker, but she was born with, I have like the actual diagnosis, which is ridiculously crazy. There's like all these different things, but essentially she was born with half a heart, so she was a couple weeks old when she got an adult-sized pacemaker. Because a baby one wasn't going to do what it needed to do. Right. So she's had 2 open heart surgeries. She's been intubated a couple of times. She was on ECMO, where like it's full life support. She's walking around going to dance class now.
That's so awesome.
Right? And Dr. Blaine, we met him a couple years before. That's just crazy to me.
Shout out Dr. Blaine.
Yeah,
thank you very much. That's so cool. We were talking, not on the podcast, but you and me, probably about like that concept of like leadership, like through service to others, right? And I think it's cool to hear like you're so passionate about helping other people, and I think probably doing things like that, like going to Haiti or kind of seeing how people outside of your circle live. I got to imagine that had something to do with it, right?
Yeah, it was. I came back. I remember like the last couple weeks once I got back, I just didn't feel right. And it was like, you would go to Starbucks and people were whining and complaining that their drink was wrong. I'm like, and now I always check myself in the back of my head. I'm like, those eye drops from CVS, Rachel, like, don't complain about the things that you have. These people hiked miles to go get those. So it's like, honestly, for your own selfish gain, to be a better person, I think people need to do things like that, to serve people so you can be a better person for yourself and for other people. So I know, obviously, I'm not a perfect person. Nobody's a perfect person, but I think opening my eyes to that kind of makes me check myself sometimes when I get upset why my coffee's wrong at Starbucks,
Yeah, because it gives you like a sense of perspective, right?
Yeah.
I remember coming back from Iraq the first time, and like hearing the things that people complain about. Like you were talking about coffee. I remember being at a Burger King somewhere, and this person just losing their absolute mind.
At Burger King.
Yeah, because there were pickles on it when they asked for no pickles.
Oh, Lord.
And
Yeah.
I just remember thinking like, is it, is this really what's that hard in your life right now?
Yeah, and you're sacrificing your life for that person to be angry about pickles,
Well,
So thank you for your service.
Thank you. But I think the important part is like both of us got perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what's missing in a lot of people's lives, right? Is that perspective of others and where you really are.
Yeah.
Maybe we're getting a little too preachy when we talk about that, but I think it would really benefit other people to do
Yes.
that.
And we don't say that to think that we're like better than anybody or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, almost selfishly, it really helped me.
I know. And if anything, like we were helping people in Haiti, but they definitely helped us more than we did for them.
Yeah, that's a cool way to put that. So you have a special somebody at the gym, right? Mr. Brian Bird, right? Everybody's favorite sheriff, possibly the most handsome person at Sharkbite.
Yeah.
I think he's got a 62-pack of abs. And for anyone who doesn't know, Bird is not a large guy, and might be the strongest person in all the gyms combined.
He's a what do you call it when you like pretend you're good at like poker and then you lose a couple games and then you finally win.
Yeah, he's like a shark. Yeah, exactly.
I guess so.
Right.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, right? So I know that he's definitely one of the people that I love chasing on the scoreboard, right? He's also one of the nicest dudes I think I've ever met. What's it like getting to work out with him? So he's your fiance. He comes to the same gym with you. He's in the same group of friends. You guys get to share a hobby. What's that like?
Yeah, it's fun because I can tell that he's genuinely excited and happy for me. So he did CrossFit like in his friend's garage. So he wasn't actually part of the gym till after I was part of the gym. But he's been doing it for like the last 6 years since high school and college and whatnot. So like whenever I do really well on something, or when I got my butterfly pull-ups or on my toes bar and stuff, like he was so genuinely excited for me. So it's definitely been something we could bond over because we've been dating for 8 years now. So like our lives are completely combined, and it's like we got nothing new to share to each other because we know everything about each other. So it is another thing for us to kind of like share new experiences together. And I know he's so proud of me, so it's cute.
Yeah, it's cool. I've coached like early morning classes, and I'll come in and he'll come up to me and say something like, "Did you see Rachel's score yesterday?"
Does he?
Yeah, I'm like, that's so cool.
Brian,
that's so cool.
That's cute. So he's like, he's very like to himself, and he's humble about it too. Like you said, he's very good, but he doesn't like for people to know that he's good, or he doesn't like to be recognized. Like he doesn't take compliments well, but Brian, if you're listening, you're wonderful.
I think you're wonderful too, dude. Just saying it. Yeah. He never talks. Every time he says hi, I'm like, oh, I feel so good. I'm part of the select few. Yeah. That's awesome. So you and I competed together a couple months ago at our charity competition, Reindeer Games.
When we got first in the gym.
No big deal.
Yeah.
We're in the Cape Coral Crown. No big deal. Shout out to Rachel and Crystal for leaving us behind. Talk about that. What was that charity competition like for you? How was that?
It was fun. Like I think that was my first RX competition.
Either that or the Cape Coral Classic, right, with Crystal?
Yep.
Or the Sharp Bite Classic. I'm sorry, yeah.
So yeah, it was my second. It was awesome, and I didn't want to let you down, Nick. So I tried really hard.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there, because right before the first workout, the first day,
I do remember that.
you came up to me and you said, verbatim, you said these words. I'm not making any of this up.
I did.
You said, I did this workout with Brian, your fiance. You said, we got, I think it was something like 9 rounds, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy crap, that's a lot. And you said something along the lines of, it's okay though, I didn't want to let him down, but I don't really care if I let you down, so it'll be okay.
I did say it, it just kind of came out.
And I stood there with my mouth on the floor.
Well, we got like 11.
Yeah, then we ended up smoking you.
Yeah. Here we go. No, it was a lot of pressure because you're like the owner of the gym. You were running the entire competition, and me, little old me, was your partner. I tried really hard.
I remember thinking, I cannot believe she just said that, and then I heard 3, 2, 1, and we had to go right into game mode.
Yeah, so it might have motivated you a little bit.
I think it did.
Sometimes when people talk smack, it makes me, you got something to prove.
Yeah.
So you proved it to me.
No, I think we did also. I think it was super fun. You were saying little old me. For anyone who doesn't know, Rachel weighs,
120.
14 pounds. And she's one of the stronger people I've met. It doesn't really make anatomical sense, but you are super strong. And I felt super confident you were going to do good in that comp. And then you did.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think you learned butterfly pull-ups the night before or 2 nights before, right?
I was practicing, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Saturday. I think me and Chelsea and Steph came on Sunday. And I was practicing then, so the week before.
Yeah, and it worked out perfectly because we ended up getting 6th place out of, I don't know, 40 teams. I'll take that. Yeah, no big deal. Get some dirt off the shoulders.
What?
Yeah.
When you say little old me, I have to share a cute little moment I had yesterday. Chris, Bretta from the evening class, she said she thought of me because on her Facebook, you know how like advertisements come up or something, and a t-shirt popped up and it said like, underestimate me, I dare you, or something like that. And so she's like, hey, I saw the shirt and I thought of you because you're so small and you wouldn't think that you'd be able to do these things, but you go and you like lift heavy weight and it's really impressive. It's like, when would me and hers lives ever cross? You know, that's what I'm saying. It was so sweet and she thought of me. So.
Dude, that is so nice of her. I think that thing you just said though, right? Like, when would me and this person's life ever cross? I think about that every day.
Mm-hmm.
I get to meet so many people from so many just wholly different realms of life.
Yeah.
Like, think about the class going on out there right now, right? There's probably 14 or 15 people that would never know each other otherwise.
I know. Like, Chris Morgan's one of my bros. When would me and Chris Morgan ever hang out?
Yeah, right?
You
Like, nothing would organically make you guys run into each other.
I know.
I think about that often. Jim is the same age as my dad. You know?
And he's like one of your best friends.
He's literally one of my best friends. Like, how would I have ever become friends
I know,
with him?
age is not a number here, man.
Yeah. Joe Carey is...
I probably would have crossed paths with him at some point. Sorry, Joe. Joe's one of my favorite people, too. I love you, Joe.
I don't really like him. He won't be able to hear us on the podcast anyway, so it's okay.
Put it in the comments.
In the subtitles. The subtitles are going to read...
Send it in the mail.
Making fun of Joe.
Asterisks, or whatever those stars are.
Okay, so we have this probably won't air until afterwards, but we have the Intramural Open coming up, right?
Yep.
You're one of our captains. Yeah.
What an honor.
Dude, when I talked to the other coaches and I said, who do we pick? I think I told you this. You were unanimous. It was like,
aww.
Yeah, it was Hafer, and that's how that worked. Exactly like that. Like,
that's sweet. Thanks, guys. You make me feel special.
Who's your co-captain? Chris Morgan, right?
Yep.
And what is your terrible team name?
Caloosahatchee Banana Slugs. He made it up. I'm not. So I was trying to find memes and stuff, and so Banana Slugs is actually a mascot for a team.
Oh, really?
I think.
I didn't know that. That's news to me.
It's like some college. There's a slug.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe I'm making this up.
I mean, you might be. I'm not sure.
There was a man in a mascot costume.
Well,
I almost wore my banana costume into here.
That would have been so great. When we did the intramural draft a couple weeks ago, you and Morgan were wearing banana suits, and that was so good.
You know what's funny? I had those two. I had them.
You know why we get along? I don't know how many people know this. When Steph and I first started dating, she came to my house one time and opened up a closet.
Costumes.
And I might be messing up the order of the story a little bit, but she was like, "What the hell is this?" It was a full closet full of costumes.
Yeah, I believe it.
And not like 3. Like, I'm saying I filled a full walk-in closet with costumes.
That is impressive. I'll need to come share some of your closets. It's the most important closet in the house.
It is.
Steph.
She's now
Well,
made.
she's got her own too, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's made me move it out to the garage now, but it takes up about a quarter of our garage. So.
That's funny.
Because I have that exact banana suit. All right, so how do you and Morgan plan to lead the Caloosahatchee banana slugs to
To the top.
How? How do you
Oh,
guys?
boy.
Yeah, how are you gonna motivate
We haven't really thought of much of a game. We just love our people, so we're like, who do we want on our team? Not necessarily who's the best person, but it's like, it's gonna be, so I've heard, gonna be like challenges and stuff and like participation.
I guess we'll find out. I don't know.
So like, we don't necessarily have to be the best people, but people who are willing to participate, and we're just gonna love our people and hope that they come. Hey man, I really love you. Will you please post on Facebook or wear a blue shirt or whatever?
Everything in me is hoping that when this plays, you guys didn't win.
No.
Yeah, because I'm on Cirque de Sore Legs, and I think we're gonna take the crown.
You may.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I'll talk to the scorekeeper about it.
Okay. Now I need to go to Chris and we need to plan. I did make a Facebook group though.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you guys having participation? Are you guys getting like strategy sessions going on yet? Because we are.
We are too.
Oh, that's not true. You guys are going down. You guys are going down. Guys,
Oh, God.
if when this happens, Banana Slugs got last place, we know why.
I'm just being inconspicuous. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to give away my plan to you
Got it.
right
Okay.
now.
All right. I understand that. So, what are some of your favorite moments you've had in the gym? What are some of those things? Like, remember we sat down for our first goal review. I remember asking you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you left the gym, you were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's a moment or two like that for you?
Oh boy. Well, I always have to say, because Joe, as much as we make fun of Joe, he's like a big highlight for me.
Yeah,
because,
me too.
Because how old's Joe?
110.
Okay, so 100. Well, he's in his early 80s, right?
Yeah, 70s. He's
I'm sorry, Joe. No.
Yeah, 70,
78?
74, 75, 76.
All right, so he's.
Sorry, Joe. You can't hear me, but it's okay.
And he's okay with all this, just so you guys know. So Joe, he works hard at making sure that his future is going to be, that where he's going to be able to live healthy and independent and be as strong as he possibly can. I think at one point he had said he wants to be able to get himself off the floor if he ever falls.
Yeah, right.
It might sound like he's joking, but no, that is a huge thing, and a lot of the people who end up living in communities, that might be one of the falls where they land on the floor and stay there for a couple of days that lead them into a future that maybe they didn't plan for. And so the fact that he's being preventative or doing the necessary things to keep himself healthy and independent as long as possible, that's a real inspiration to me. So anytime I watch Joe exercise, that's got to be a highlight.
Me too. I make a lot of jokes about Joe because he's like my cranky old grandpa hanging out with him. But I love it. When he was brand new, that was something we worked on a lot, right? Because he said pretty openly that was a goal of his.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I need to be able to get off the floor. Like, I don't want to be a guy who can't do that.
Yeah.
And Joe's like my size. He's a large guy. He's 6'1", 6'2", probably around 200 pounds. He's a large man. And now he's out there doing hanging knee raises and cleans. And,
bless his heart.
yeah, we competed in a competition, was it 2 or 3 years ago? He was my partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we podiumed too.
Wow, Joe.
Yeah, how cool is that? I didn't do much work, so it was all him.
And I like another one of my highlights is anytime I watch Tiffany Willen talk to anybody at the gym. Because she makes you feel so special, but she also will specifically pick out exactly. So Tiffany's not a coach. She's not a coach. She doesn't have to be, she's not employed to be the person to help, but she goes out of her way to, pick apart anything that you might be doing wrong, but she does so in a way that is it's like, I can do this, let me fix this. Not like, oh, you're doing that wrong, Rachel. And she'll always encourage you to throw an extra pound on there or throw a couple fives on there, but she does it in a way that's makes you feel special. And she always does it to, newer people, or she'll take people under her wing, and she's not a coach and she doesn't necessarily have to do that stuff, but she just does it on her own will.
Yeah,
I just love that.
I feel like we have a lot of people like that too, right? Where it's like their intent is always good. There's nobody like looking down their nose at you about your lift or whatever, right?
Yeah. And you never feel that it's like, oh, I'm doing it wrong. Or Tiffany saw me do it wrong. It's like she helps you. She actually wants you to do it right, or she wants you to, like, you know, feel stronger to be able to do some things, and she'll take time out of her after her workout to work on something with you.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I like working with Tiffany a lot because she will openly talk shit to me in the middle of a workout, and that doesn't happen very often anymore. It's really fun. I'll get off the bar and she'll be like, get back on there.
Yeah.
Hey, man. That's awesome, though. Okay, so you have now been here for a couple of years, right?
April will be 2 years.
That's awesome.
I think.
So
Yeah.
it's March 4th, we're recording this in a month. You were talking to someone who was scared to start working out, right? What would you tell them?
You can be afraid to, I don't want to say, oh, don't be scared, but it is kind of scary, especially like it's a little bit intimidating, but you just have to do it. And I guess sometimes when people hear CrossFit, they imagine people like throwing things and slamming things, which you are, but then you learn to love it. And people are intimidated by it, but I think it's like, the other day I did a legless rope climb and I was like ready to get into a bar fight. Like I felt like the Hulk or something. Like why would me, somebody like that, like ever end up in a situation like climbing a rope with no legs until I joined this gym, you know? So you like, it's cool because you can see what you're capable of. Like I would never have thought that I would have been strong and have big muscles. Did you ever see my comparison photo of my arms? Like I had noodle arms before this gym, and it like, I didn't think anything of it, but now that like I actually have some meat on my bones, like I feel awesome. Like I said, I'm ready to get into a bar fight after that rope workout. But you can be afraid at first, and then as soon as you come and you do first workout, if it's Cindy or something else, then you'll feel awesome. And you know, I think it's good to challenge yourself and do things that you're afraid of. So I would say just try it a couple times, and then you'll fall in love with it, and then you'll meet the people here, and then it'll be a reason to wake up. I don't like to wake up early, but I always wake up Saturday morning because Saturday morning classes are my favorite.
Yeah, and you even come to 5 a.m. sometimes.
I try to.
Yeah.
I just really don't want to get up that early.
Yeah, you don't see me there very often.
No.
So.
No, I think you just have to try it. I mean, just don't really think about it. Just try it.
Yeah.
And then if anyone ever has any questions, talk to somebody about it. I would reach out to Tiffany. I just love that girl. Tiffany, Bailey, anybody who's been around, pretty much anybody you can ask, and then they can give you the full, you know, spiel. Everybody got here somehow from a different area, so it's cool to learn what led people to be here.
Yeah, that's honestly been my favorite part of this podcast so far, of doing each of these, is that.
Like what led you here?
Yeah, getting those stories.
Yeah. And I guess the reason I knew about it, my mom and my sister went here for a short amount of time, and then Bailey was the person that kind of like drew me into it.
Well, cool. So, is there anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to bring up? Anything that I'm not thinking of? No? It's okay, you don't have to. I just want to make sure I give you a chance.
I know. Let's see. No, I think we covered pretty good. I was looking at the time. 40 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing good. Okay, so if somebody wanted to find more about you or about the Preserve, right, how could they do that?
They can go to the Preserve, BOA.org. You can type in the Preserve Senior Living on Google. We also have Gulf Coast Village in Cape Coral. It's a full continuing care retirement community, meaning it has all ranges of senior care, from independent all the way to skilled nursing memory support. And you can find me on Facebook, Rachel Hafer. I'm always sharing the Preserve stuff. But yeah.
Well, cool. Rachel, thank you very much for doing this. Down with banana slugs, sore legs for life. Thank you.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us today on the Shark Bite Show. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Shark Bite Fitness and Nutrition, or on our website at sharkbitefitness.com. If you'd like to find out more about our guests, their information will be in the show notes. If you'd like to talk to us about getting more fit, feel free to schedule a free no sweat intro at one of our locations in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, or Naples, Florida.